Hey everyone, Ken here from MB Homestead. Sorry about my nasally sound. I still got kind of like a sinus infection or whatever going on. Today is Sunday, and I'm going to use Sundays now, hopefully, to do kind of some of the small projects that I want to get done. And one of the traditions we kind of have here in the homestead is we set up my wife's O-gauge train that she had when she was a child. It's an old Marks 027 train set. It uses the 027 track, which is a 27-inch radius basically. So I'll make a platform, or this will be just half the platform. It's going to be 3 feet by 8 feet. Sounds kind of big, but with an O-gauge track, that's going to be kind of small actually. But it's just to set up a small oval, maybe one little turn off for the track, so that we can have some fun with it with the grandson underneath the Christmas tree. I'm going to make it, like I said, 3 feet by 8 feet wide, 3 feet deep, and about a foot off the ground. I got room to play with. My tree is 9 feet high, and I got a 12-foot vaulted ceiling in the middle, and I put the tree right in the middle of the room there, so that we so it looks nice in the living room, doesn't take up a lot of space, and again, the platform will only be a foot high, and then just before we put the presents out, whatever, we put a skirt around it so it kind of covers that stuff up and you can lay things on there. I don't think we're going to put any buildings on there. If they do, they'll be temporary, so that by Christmas time we can take the buildings down, put the presents out, etc. I'm going to use 1x4s, and I have them. Oh. Right here, it's like a common pine board. It's 1x4. I'm almost positive. Yeah, 1x4 by 6 feet. Since it's only going to be 3 feet wide, I'm hoping to get the two of the end pieces off one board maybe, and then I have 2 side pieces that I'll have some scrap on, and then we'll make 12-inch center supports, because I'm using something called Homosote. It's a soundboard. It's about a 1/2 inch thick. I've used it before for model trains, and it works really good to keep the sound down so y'all don't really hear the running across the tracks and all that. And it's easy to nail and glue to, and you can paint it. So we're just going to paint all of this stuff eventually fiber white, primer white, so it simulates the snow. I'm going to try to use 2 nails at the end, and then I have a Craig pocket screw jig, and I'll put 2 pocket screws on each board after I get these cut to length, etc. It's kind of laid out. I'm going to bring you along, show you how to do that, how I'm going to do that. I do appreciate constructive criticism. I'm no carpenter, no expert carpenter by any means, but my knowledge that I do have kind of makes me dangerous. So let's get to work. Okay, I got some of my tools ready to go. I got my pencil, I got a speed square, got my tape measure. Let me get a board. And then what I like to kind of do is see where I got to adjust my saw here to accommodate for things. Now, the ends, this end, I don't know if you can see my hand, this end, both, they go in and out to accommodate for longer boards. They have the flip up, flip down, whatever you gotta do to level it, and such. So what we gotta do is we gotta cut these 3 feet wide. Okay, and I have a fine tooth blade on my chop saw. You probably don't need a fine tooth blade, but that's what I have. All right, I'll be right back. I need my hearing protection. All right, hearing protection, that's a must, especially if you have tinnitus like me from working on an ambulance too long. I'm just gonna Draw my mark across the board lightly. And then this is my first 3-foot section, but I'm going to cut this right on the line and see how it comes out. So this board was a smidge too long, probably about, I'd say a good 1/8 inch longer than what we need. I'm going to snip that little 1/8 inch off, and that'll be my 2 end pieces. And the sticker will be on the inside, obviously, so we won't have to worry about that. So now I got my 2 end pieces made. 36, 36. Okay, so what I'm going to do is on the inside, I'm going to write the end. Now look at this one. This has kind of got a smooth, this one's got a smoother side, so I'm going to write end here. All right, so I'm going to take these, set them aside. Okay. Now, my ends, the sides are going to come and butt in to the end. I know this is, they say it's 1x4, but it's actually only 3/4 inch after they do the edges. So 1 3/4, 1 3/4, no, 3/4, 3/4 is 1.5 inches. So I have to 4 feet long total. I got to take 1.5 off. That's me 46.5 for each board. All right, now let me do my math again. Let me get my scrap here. So 3/4 plus 3/4 is 6/4. So if you want, you can convert that to decimals. Is 1.5 inches. So hey everyone, sorry about that. The microphone died on me as I put up the little card there to say that it died. So what I'm doing here is I'm just measuring all the sides out, getting them cut to length. They went to 48 inches. So this is again a 3-foot by 4-foot, half of the board that we're going to have for that train. So I get them all cut up, get them ready to go, and then you see me at the end of this little segment here. I lay them out on the ground and show you how this is going to go together, and then later on in the video you see me get this thing together with all the screws and get the board on top of it. So I'll throw some background music up since I wasn't paying attention to my battery life and the microphone's died, so enjoy. I'm back in the garage. I think the microphone cut out of me in part of that, so I'll have to watch the video and I'll do voiceover if it cuts off. So I have a very simple to use Kreg jig pocket screw maker. And what that does is on my pieces, this is gonna get attached like that with a clamp, and then you take your screw, your drill gun with the drill bit attached to it. I already have it set for 3/4, which I've already used it once, and you drill in, and then I'll show you the hole that it makes, and then you use the special screws that are sold by Kreg that go into that joint, and then I have some wood plugs that I can put in to hide those screws. Okay, so get my drill. Okay, I use a really small C-clamp. So I kind of eyeball where I'm putting this thing. I know you can't really see, so I'll move you. Okay, so you can kind of see where I'm working. I'm going to put that, depending upon the thickness of the board, you measure where you have to be. If you're going 1/2 inch, I have a little black mark right on there, and that tells me where to go for 1/2 inch, but I'm using 3/4, so I'm gonna put it flush. Okay, and then before I really tighten it down, I double check to make sure that it's flush. Tighten it down. Yep, I need to clean the shop up a little bit here. Okay, and then you just take the clamp off. And there you have a nice pocket hole, so that, hang on, you use, these are 1.25 inch screws, and then they go into like that. And you got a long bit, there's a square head on it that you have to use a special square bit, and then it's not special, it's just mine, I have the 2 lengths, and then you put that in there, and then I have some wooden dowel, or you can just put some wood putty in there to fix it up. Okay, now when I first get this together, I may just use some nails through the end to temporarily hold it and then I can get the screws in. I'm not sure yet. Okay, yes, with one person this kind of can be a little trying, but it can be done. Okay. There you have it. Now, I gotta be careful, I don't want to mar the outside too much, but these are the support, this is the support piece. So, it doesn't really matter on the support piece where I do the pocket screws. Now, on the end pieces, it's gonna matter, and I want them, you actually want them on the outside going into the next piece. So, I'll probably on the side pieces drill into the end, so it goes into the end pieces, because they're angled. When you put the screw in, it angles, it's going to angle like this in the wood. So I want it going into the meat of the wood, not towards the edge where it can break off. The only thing you have to remember, well, you don't have to on these support pieces, is I could put one set here, and it won't make a difference since it'll be underneath the table anyways. But I like to keep them on the same side because I have that little OCD going there. So get your clamp in place. You kind of want it near the middle, really, to hold it. Okay. Okay, there are other Craig kits out there, or some that the wood clamps into. You got it. Doesn't matter. I just wanted something simple to originally start trying it with, and this is what I bought. So. You heard me, I dropped my speed of my drill down a little bit. I don't need to have the blistering fast mode. Okay, it's again preference, but that's just me. And unfortunately I'm right-handed, so I cross over. All right, I got a lot more to do. I'll come back when I'm done.